Whoever said love takes work must have lied to me. Because love is only an acknowledgement of our priceless worth, our unique identity. It's not the dishes we wash or the favors we do, the meals that we cook, or even the sex we're giving our dude. Love is something that our actions can never evoke out of you. Even with all the working and hoping and praying that his eyes will catch what a great woman for him I could be, it's time to realize that I can't make you love me. Because his eyes will remain blind, even if I'm the woman he dreams of in his spare time. Because what man can search about for a woman when she's out of position, prematurely cleaning his grown behind? I mean, I understand. I get it. Our hearts long and they yearn for the declaration of our love to be heard and for that man to understand that I will forever be yours. But it may sound quite absurd when I show this level of nerve to remind my sisters who may have initially ignored that I can't make him love me. I mean, think about it. Any honest worker receives his due pay. He receives a check for the work that he's done that day. But love's price tag has no numerical value. And if it's real, it'll never ever be contingent upon anything that you do. So no, I can't make you love me. And the truth of the matter is, I shouldn't have to. And why? Because no matter how much I may want you to see, no matter how much I want you to see me, the question still remains, why don't you love me?
With the things similar. And so this is my life. That's all it is. True stories, real life situations that can help people grow and benefit. With that being said, the Larry Rollins Show, what is that? I'm starting my own radio show. The Bible talks about how the fullness of the earth and thereof, all this in the earth belongs to God. A lot of times we hear a lot of music and some may disagree, some may agree, but music is influential. When we watch a movie and they play the right song at the right time, you'll start crying watching The Notebook at the end of it because of the movie, right? And because of all that's going on with it. And so music has a way of moving our emotions. So it has some type of power, it has some type of dominion. So whatever you put in through music, so if you listen to B Words and Hoes, of course you're not going to respect the girl. Why? Because that's what you put in your system. And so what I'm trying to do with my radio show is give music that's more positive, there's some stuff that we can relate to, because I've never sold anything out of the trap. Never. I've never sold drugs, so I can't relate to that. Have I seen a fine woman and I wanted to slip up with her? Absolutely. And so there's music out there that can relate to that, seriously. And so there's music, more positive than Christian music that has real, valid messages. One song called Curious, I'm reminded of, it talks about how you lurk on whoever page because you're real curious about what their life is like. And some of us go through that. After we break up with them, we're going to see what they're doing. So we go on that page, we go like 32 weeks in because that's the last time we was together, so we don't know what they're like being like. Some of y'all sit next to the people. So,
in a Western civilization that we know as America, our vocabulary is quite extensive and progressive, to say the least. We make up a word for almost anything. That's just how we roll. And saying that, our language hasn't always been as such. There's a time when one word meant multiple things. Kind of like saying, man, that's cool. It doesn't necessarily relate to the temperature, you know. I said that to say that the word love was a word that had multiple meanings, or there were different types of love, I should say. You had the phileo love, or the phileo context of love. And I'm not talking about, fish. It was where we get the name Philadelphia from. It was also known as the city of brotherly love. Simply means, I love you like a brother. Then you got the eros love. It's where we get the word erotic from, or erotica. It means, I love the way you touch me, or I love the way you make me feel. Then we have a simple type of love, which is called sturgo. It's just like loving an Instagram follower or loving someone you're familiar with. But then you have the one love we all long for in a relationship and in life. The only form of love that isn't contingent upon what the other person does. The love is called agape, the true love. The love that never ends, the one that never stops giving of oneself, the selfless love, the love that says, no matter what, I'm here to stay. I love you, baby, it's okay. I know we're going through it right now, but through the storm, I'm going to be here. That's the love that she was looking for. Now see what happened in this particular relationship and many others like it, it was that in the beginning she fell in love with how I treated her like a brother. She was my homie. That was that phileo love she fell in love with. She loved the way I recognized her and became familiar with her. That was that Sturgo love that she fell in love with. She even loved the way I touched her and made her feel. And even when I kissed her on her neck and her toes curled, that was that Eros love that she fell in love with. And I never stopped doing any of those things. I never stopped doing any of those things. You see, the only thing about those three forms of love is that they are not consistently fulfilling. In other words, they are not 100% of the time. They're a little bit iffy. And I'm about done. But if I knew what I know now, I could have never given her agape love. I could have given her agape love if I knew what I know now. Which means no matter what kind of day it was, whether my touch didn't feel right, whether I felt like being bothered or even being familiar with her, my love would have sustained us. My agape would have been strong enough to make it through a bad day. So if the question is, why don't you love me? It wasn't because I just didn't love her. I wasn't capable of doing so. The reason why I didn't love her is because I had no idea what true love was.
Why didn't I love you? See, she was beautiful and she was smart, but I'm going to say it again. The container was better than the content. See, as the relationship went on, I noticed that I was given more than I received. Since she no longer went out like she used to, I realized that she was never happy outside of the nightlife and everybody telling her that she was beautiful on the outside, but forgetting that she had to fulfill a spirit that was dead on the inside. See, outside of the nightlife that she abandoned, I became her happiness. And the only thing that she knew to give me was physical pleasure. That's the only thing that she ever gave the world. You see, when you enter a relationship based on sex, one day somebody is going to give more than sex and expect more than sex in return. See, I was there for her financially, physically, emotionally, and mentally. If she was having a bad day, I picked her up. If she wasn't feeling well, I gave her medicine. I was her counselor, I was her doctor, I was her joy, her peace, her ATM. And guess what she was? My parasite. I had to see what had going on in her past to make her think it was okay to expect everything from me and give nothing. So, starting at the age of 14, she had a sugar dad. The only thing she knew was to give her body for what she wanted. There's one word that sums up the whole thing that I'm talking about, and it's called reciprocity. You have to give to the measure that you receive. See, the things in life that have true value never go on sale. That's why you can't put yourself on sale if you know your worth. You can't go inside the Fendi store and look for the clearance rack because they understand that the things that really matter in life cannot go on sale.
Come on now. Come on.
So ladies, be careful for what you ask for. Because the same thing in those slim, tight skirts and the things that you do to attract every man in the world will not keep the man of your dreams in your life. Because he wants more than that and he deserves more than that. His value is higher than that.
I dip in from out of town. We chop it up. We became cool. Next thing you know, we wanted to take it to another level. So as we took it to another level, it got real, but really, it really didn't get real as it can get because the only thing that got real was sex. We started off with physical attraction, nothing emotional at all, nothing mental at all, and especially nothing spiritual at all. But me, I was supposed to be a spiritual person. Got caught up with her body, got caught up with her face. And so that's all we did was have sex. So then when she was going through breakdowns, I wasn't there for her. Because I was in church, she was in church. But it's possible for two Christians to be in a relationship and not have Christ in the middle of it. And so therefore, we was just based on sex. So next thing you know, guys, we are not so emotional. We more physical. Females are more emotional. You know, we use the word love just to have sex. And a lot of females use sex just to get love. No man wants a weak woman. Because in my mind, I go a little bit deeper. Because if I have kids by you, I don't want my daughter being treated like that and accept that. And so as a man, we look at traits. And if your traits, we're going to move around. And so, why didn't I love her? And then I asked her, why you stay when I do you like that? But then I found out that's how a father treat her mother. And so her whole life, she thought that's what love was. I tell you I love you, but I dog you out. And so the love wasn't shown by actions, it was shown by words. But those words was a lie. And so the fact is, I can't love somebody that just got a shell on them and nothing on the inside. Because now you don't stimulate my mind. You never stimulate me at all. So if you're just a pretty face, no substance, nobody can ever love you. Peace.
I really want y'all to grasp the concept of this form and the pain that comes with it. And so I want to share my story in my particular case, because the form, all the form is my life. And now, but then I didn't. In fact, it took me 9 months to tell her what really happened. 9 months. And so, but there had to be some change and some things that went on in my life for me to really give that information to her. And so she's trying everything she can for us to get back together. All that she can do, because she wants to be with me. And she's in essence asking me, why don't you love me? Why don't you love me? Why don't you love me? And she's pouring out her heart. And in reality, this is what she looks like. This is exactly what she looks like. Because she's trying so hard for us to get back together. And I'm ignoring her. I'm not paying her any attention. Throughout our entire relationship, she looked like that. But I couldn't see it because I was so caught up in us being physical. But she looked like that our whole relationship, every second of it, she looked like it. Because here's the thing. You say, how? Because I've heard that the only time that a woman should be on her knees is when she's praying to God. It's the only time that a woman should be on her knees, when she's praying to God. But symbolically, her life showed devotion to me. How is that? Because I was the first person she talked to in the morning. I was the last person she talked to at night. And throughout the day, she constantly texts me. Of course, I'm texting back. But she showed her devotion to me daily on a consistent basis. In other words, I was her idol and I was her God. And if you don't believe me, if I brought her here today, she really could tell you the exact same thing. Her problem was, and it's not my desire to talk about, what the woman did wrong, but her issue in particular, and both of us can sit in the same room and agree on this, and we've actually taught a devotion to kids about what was wrong in our relationship. So we're on good terms now. I mean, it's over a year now. But I was her idol. I was her God, and her relationship with Christ was through me. And so that's what she showed. She showed all her devotion to me, and she gave all that she could to me. And I was her idol, I was her God, and she reverenced me. And so when I slipped up, she slipped up. Like, her relationship with God had nothing to do with God, but it was all through me. She looked for me to be everything that I could, or everything that she could find in me. And so she worshiped me. She worshiped me, like so many of us do. And not just women, but men too. Because in the relationship after that, I did exactly what she did. I worshiped the next girl. And whatever I could do to please her, whatever I could do to make her happy, when she was happy, I was happy. When she was sad, I was sad. When she was upset, I was upset. If something was wrong with her, I felt like I needed to fix it. I showed all of my devotion. I would even manipulate and deceive myself. Like I was praying to God for her life to get better when I was really I just wanted our relationship to be better. I wasn't concerned about her truly growing in Christ, because if I was, I'd have stopped ministering to her with my penis and allowed God to truly do something with her. And so, a lot of us, we put the person that we're dating on this pedestal as if they're God. and we show more devotion to them, we show more attention to them, we give more of our time to them, we give more of our money to them than we give to God. And God is a jealous God. He really is.
What did you think about the forum?
It really was like, you don't see people these days opening up like